Behind me is the first BMW M Performance car built on a front-wheel drive platform. It's also the first with a 4-cylinder engine. The X2 M35i represents a brand new formula for BMW, and it's one we're going to be seeing a lot more of soon. How does it taste? It might only have a 4-cylinder engine, but the M35i is an angry little SUV. How angry? Try 225 kilowatts and 450 Newton meters, put to the road through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Bury the throttle and you'll be doing 100 kilometers an hour in just 4.9 seconds. Pricing starts at $68,900, which is a lot. But BMW has been generous with the standard equipment. M Sport suspension and steering are included, along with bigger brakes and a locking differential on the front axle. The full range of BMW active safety kit is standard, but nice stuff like this panoramic sunroof are optional. There might be an extra M badge on the boot, but this is still a BMW X2 from the outside. That means the grille is still inverted, the headlights are still angry, and there's still a BMW badge right here on the C-pillar. The roofline is lower than the X1's, and the whole car has a generally angry look about it. In keeping with that, you can't actually option the X-line bumpers on the M35i because they wouldn't be nearly sporty enough. To reinforce the car's M credentials, you've got these 20-inch alloy wheels and blue brake calipers hiding behind them. The car rides lower, plus there's a set of chunky dual exhaust out the back. The noise that comes from them is fantastic, but more on that later. You get 470 litres of boot space back here, or 1,355 litres with the rear seats folded. It's deceptively big, this X2. With that said though, the boot aperture itself is quite narrow and the floor is quite high, which isn't a problem if you're young. But if you're old and carrying heavy bags, it could make life difficult. Under the floor, there's no space saver, but there is a lot more storage space. It's very orange back here. BMW launched the M35i with orange as its hero interior colour, and it's seriously bright. Now, we said before the X2 has a lower roofline than the X1, and it kind of shows. I'm tall and there's still enough room for my head, but it is a little bit limited. And while we're talking about limited, space behind these bucket seats isn't all that incredible either. While we're complaining, this C-pillar is massive, and the rising beltline makes it hard to see out if you're small. There are some good things back here as well though. For one, there's air vents and 2 USB-C charging ports, along with deep door pockets and this fold-down armrest. The seats are a real highlight on the BMW X2. They look really cool, which is a bonus obviously, but they're super comfortable on long stints and the bolsters hold you in place during hard cornering. BMW also does some of the best bum warmers in the business. The steering wheel is super chunky and really nice to hold, just like it is on all the best BMW M Sport cars. And the dials are really easy to read on the fly. With that said, they're not fully digital like you get in, say, the new Mercedes A-Class. I quite like that about them though. While we're talking older bits and pieces, this center console has been borrowed from the BMW X1 and it just looks and feels old. There's a new 1 Series on the way and it's going to get BMW's latest tech and dashboard design, and that's only going to make it feel older. Still, everything's in a logical spot and really easy to reach. BMW does ergonomics better than most. An 8.8-inch infotainment screen running iDrive is standard in the X2, and it's very good. Navigation with traffic updates and wireless Apple CarPlay are both included, and the system itself is excellent. The screen is crystal clear and the rotary controller is dead easy to use. BMW can't match Mercedes' high-tech widescreen infotainment or Audi's brilliant virtual cockpit with its old-fashioned dials, but its head-up display is still the best in the game. When BMW announced it was going from a 6-cylinder to a 4-cylinder in the X2, I was a little bit worried. The 6-cylinder in the M140i is an absolute charmer. It sounds great and it's torquey and just unique. Those worries faded away when I turned this car on for the first time and put my foot down because, as you can hear, it sounds fantastic. It's also a really angry little unit. You've got 225 kilowatts on tap, and although there's a little bit of lag down low, once you're past about 1800 revs, it just picks up and pulls all the way to red line. And when you hit the red line, the awesome 8-speed automatic gearbox grabs another gear and you just do it all over again. It's a firecracker of an engine. It's a really, really good one. All right, the elephant in the room. This doesn't handle in the same way as the rear drive M140i, and it won't give you those lovely little rear-driven squiggles under power. But the trade-off for that is really good traction and really good cross-country pace. Because it's all-wheel drive, you're able to go very quickly in essentially any weather in the X2. Although it's built on a front-wheel drive platform and there's actually a locking differential on the front axle, the X2 doesn't really feel front-driven. The all-wheel drive system is quick. You can shuffle the power around where you need it. And when you put your foot down in a corner, there's just grip, grip, and more grip. If you go really hard, we actually managed to get the tail moving a little bit on some twisty roads, but it just feels like a composed, fast car across the ground, in the same way that an A45 or an S3 does. BMW has gone down the same path as Mercedes AMG and Audi Sport here, favouring traction over leery tail-out action. On the one hand, that's a shame. Variety is always a good thing in the world of cars, and we're going to be worse off not having BMW's rear-drive inline-six combo in a compact hatchback going forward. With that said, do many M-Light buyers really care which wheels are driven? I'd argue they probably want a loud, good-looking, fast SUV. And this is one seriously loud, seriously angry, seriously good-looking little SUV. For more on the BMW X2, make sure you head to caradvice.com and hit that subscribe button for all of our latest videos.